different Disney conspiracy theories that could be true. By now we have wrecked the theory that Tangled, The Little Mermaid and Frozen are all not only in the same universe, but the movies are connected in a very depressing way. But this is definitely not the first conspiracy theory or urban legend that surrounded a Disney film or franchise. If you believe any or all of these, we will tell you that those folks over at Disney and Pixar put more into their movies than just catchy songs and beautiful princesses. Today we bring you the list of the most popular theories and urban legends from the House of the Mouse. Some of them are a huge stretch, some are disturbing and have basically been debunked, while others are so mind-blowing you'll be putting your brain back together for weeks. 5. Toy Story 3 is an allegory for the Holocaust. Jordan Hoffman, a film critic, points out that Toy Story 3 has many parallels to the Holocaust. In the movie, the toys are left behind, just as host nations left behind the Jews as the Third Reich conquered Europe. Just like Anne Frank, the toys find themselves headed for the attack but mistakenly wind up on the curb with the trash. They are sent to Sunnyside Daycare, which actually represents a concentration camp. The newcomers are bashed and abused in their caterpillar room by non-age appropriate children until they are eventually thrown into the trash chute. Remember the sad scene where the toys accept their fate and hold hands as they are headed towards the giant incinerator? At the last minute, the toys are saved by aliens, who obviously represent the Allies. In the end, the protagonists relocate to a place where many of their kind already live and have an established foothold. 4. Carl from Up died in the beginning of the movie. You better grab a box of tissues before you listen to this fan theory. The movie Up shows Carl Fredricksen falling in love, growing old, and eventually losing his wife. When he is 78 years old, he decides that it is finally time for him to fulfill a lifelong dream. He ties thousands of balloons to his house and flies away to the South American wilderness. Carl finds out that a little boy named Russell is aboard the balloon-powered house. What if none of this was actually real? According to the theory, Carl died in his sleep the night before he was headed to Shady Oaks. The adventure he goes through in the movie is actually his journey to the afterlife. This would make Russell his guardian angel. In the ending of the movie, Carl and Russell return to the city, and this is supposed to show that Carl finally made it to heaven. 3. Boo is the witch from Brave. Many people find this theory very hard to believe, but there's no way anyone can deny the fact that it does make a lot of sense. If you have already watched Brave, then you know that the witch can magically disappear when she goes through doorways. This should sound familiar because Boo is also capable of teleporting through doors. The reason why some fans don't believe in this theory is because Brave takes place hundreds of years before Monsters, Inc. This may seem a little far-fetched, but what if Boo has the ability to go back in time by walking through a door? Also, make sure that you pay close attention to the carvings in the witch's workshop. You should see a picture of Sully in there, even though he won't exist for a few more centuries. 2. Andy's mom is actually Emily. When Jessie was first introduced in Toy Story 2, fans knew her as the cowgirl with the fear of getting abandoned. Her old owner, Emily, has neglected her for years and then tossed her into a donation bin. It takes a long time, but Jessie learns how to trust again, and she is very happy to become Andy's new toy. The problem with this emotional and heartbreaking story is that Jessie never gets any real closure. One very popular fan theory claims that Andy's mom is actually Emily, all grown up. Remember that red hat Andy wears whenever he is playing with Woody? Jessie and her original owner have the same exact hat. 1. Frozen, Tangled, The Little Mermaid, and Tarzan are all connected to each other. There is a lot of evidence proving that these 4 popular movies are all connected in some way. The theory starts off by stating that Rapunzel is Anna and Elsa's cousin. This can explain why Rapunzel and Flynn went to Elsa's coronation. It was on the way to Rapunzel's wedding that Anna and Elsa's parents shipwrecked. The ship is the one that Ariel sees in the beginning of The Little Mermaid. Now this is when the theory takes an interesting turn. Instead of dying, they washed up on an island and gave birth to a son named Tarzan. His parents were later killed by a leopard. This would mean that Tarzan is the brother of Anna and Elsa and the cousin of Rapunzel. This may be a little hard to believe because of the confusing timeline, but it's still an interesting theory. Please be sure to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends and family. Also turn on the notifications to stay updated to our daily new contents.